Hey y'all, how's it going? It's been a minute since I've made a video. There's just been a lot of transitions that I'm going through, a lot of things, that I have had going on. Spiritual warfare is a thing. So, okay, first I want to, well, I gotta let you guys know on my cards. So, I can't do a reading right now. Not in the traditional sense, but, so I can give you an idea of what's going on with the energy and the shifts that are going on, and I want to, mostly talk to you guys about Venus retrograde. That's really the point of this video, I think. So, Venus retrograde is a thing as well. This is a really big thing. So, the energy, we're going through a huge transformational period. So, this looks different for everybody. This is different in everybody's story, but this energy coming in, it has the same purpose. It has the same mission. This energy has the same mission in everybody's life as it's coming in right now. And it's to make the things happen that has been in all of my readings in the last month, the general readings for everybody, which is to move everybody out of places where they're not supposed to be. And, even by huge tidal waves of energy, if necessary, moving people to where they need to be, to where they're supposed to be. Because there are really huge, huge things that are coming. By the beginning of 2019, everything is going to look totally different to everybody, and I mean like on a national level. But it's starting right now with everybody's personal lives being, well, I was gonna say ripped to shreds, but it's not that intense for everybody. Okay, and for some people it's much more of a gentle shift. But I would say for, it feels like I'd say 75% of the population, it's explosion after explosion right now. Unexpected things happening, and the result is that things are getting moved around, things are getting shifted. So a lot of people are getting physically shifted, but there are the shifts are happening on a very internal level. So how that manifests outside of you is going to be different for everybody. Okay, so but the energy is coming in to move everybody into a place where they are more comfortable, where they are more safe and peaceful and happy, because we're moving into a stage where everybody is going to start using their gifts, whatever those are. But you're getting moved into a position where you're going to be able to use those gifts. Whatever you were born to do, your purpose, you're being redirected, and it may look nothing like like the way it looks. You might just be like, this doesn't look anything like what I'm doing or what I'm here to do. It's okay, just it's the best thing to do is to just glide through it, okay? Because you may go through some stages and you're like, this makes no sense to me. That's okay. There is a reason for it. It's just that it may not you may not see what it is while you're in it. But it all has a purpose. It's all for a reason. Okay? And now a lot of people are getting things temporarily removed from their lives, and that is a big deal. Again, this looks different for everyone, but you're gonna know who I'm talking to if you're watching this and you're experiencing this. It's not that it's like if there's something that's been taken away from you and you're like, why was that taken away from me? That thing wasn't bad, you know, it wasn't like an addiction or anything like that. Um, those things are happening right now too, and the best I can say to describe that is it's just like a temporary thing. It's what it feels like. It's like people are just being taken away from um, things that are naturally in their environment or things that they're used to. Um, for some people, it's for good. For some people, it's just for a short amount of time. But there is like this separation, like this pull apart energy going on right now, whether it's that you're getting separated from whatever it is, it has to do with your mind. It's to change the way that you're looking at things is the reason for it. A mental perspective shift um, is why those things are happening. But don't freak out because, you know, whatever, if you are, it's happening in a lot of different ways. Like you have to go someplace and you're away from your child for a little while, or you have to go someplace and you're away from your whole family, or you have to do something and it's halting something, putting your job to a halt, or you know, anything like that, and you're thinking, why was this taken away from me? This is something that's good for me. It's going to be given back. It's not like it's being taken away for good. If it is being taken away for good, you know it, okay? You're going to know. You're like, I'm not getting this back, and I just know it. You know, and so you're going to know. If everybody else, it's just like, but I don't get it. Well, it's okay. Just let it flow, and you'll figure out why. There's a reason for all of it. You'll figure it out eventually. So, okay, Venus went retrograde October 5th, and everything around me exploded at that point. All the people around me in my life, everything just went crazy. So, I don't know if you guys experienced the same thing. It just depends on who you're around, what your environment is like, because Venus is went retrograde in Scorpio, and that is a really big deal. Venus is all about how we love, how we look at ourselves, what we love, why we love those things. And Scorpio, ooh, my moon's in Scorpio. Scorpio's rough. Scorpio is, you know, as deep as it gets. Scorpio is as dark as it gets. Scorpio is as mysterious as it gets. Scorpio rules sex and death and the deepest transformations that exist in this realm. And Venus, this really like light-hearted, loving energy, is moving through that in reverse. So from now until Halloween, until October 31st, Venus is going to be retrograde in Scorpio. So things are going to continue to be intense. It's going to have this intense feeling to it. You know, when emotions come up, if it's going to be really easy for you to cry. And it really depends on your particular chart as well. Venus in retrograde in Scorpio could affect you differently depending on how much Scorpio is in your chart. Just all different sorts of things. I'm not an astrologer. I just play one on TV. So I don't really know everything. Don't come to me about that. I'm just going to tell you what I do know. But it can affect everybody at different levels of intensity. But the main thing about Venus being retrograde in Scorpio is that it's going to be very, very deep. It's going to be very intense. Anything that you have hidden from yourself about the way you feel about yourself or the way that you look at yourself is going to rise up to the surface. If there is hidden fuckery in your relationships, that's rising to the surface. It's like the truth is going to shoot out of your mouth and you have no control over it. And you're going to be like, did I literally just say that right now? Yes, you did, bitch. Yes, you did. You did, bitch. You did say that, and you meant it, okay? So don't act like you don't mean that shit when it comes out, because we all know you do, okay? Own the shit. This is the time to own that shit, because you really mean it, or you wouldn't be saying it with Venus retrograde in Scorpio, okay? All right? So just let it come out and just deal with the consequences, because if things go to shit, they're supposed to, and there's always going to be a net under you. There's always going to be a plan. even if it doesn't seem like there is, even if you can't see it. So, the 1st of November, Venus is going to move into Libra, still in retrograde, okay? But we're going to go from Scorpio to Libra. So what that's going to do is it's going to calm down the intensity, but it's still going to have that feeling of intensity to it, okay? Because a Venus in retrograde is intense, because it's all about our emotions. But moving into Libra, we're going from the real deep, deep, dark waters. We're coming back up into the middle of the sea, okay, where everything balances. And we're going to be able to breathe better at that point. And like everything probably won't make us cry or get mad or trigger us so easy at that point. But at that point, we're really going to be focusing on, are these relationships in my life the ones I need in my life? Are they the ones that should be in my life? And at that point, there's going to be a lot of endings. Like, a lot of things are going to be ended for good, like for good. Like, see you never, for good. Or, I want you always in my life, for good. It's everything, like, decisions are going to be made. And you're going to be making a lot of really important decisions about yourself. So from November 1st until the 15th, November 15th, Venus is going to be retrograde in Libra. So we have 2 more weeks there while Venus is still straight up in retrograde in Libra. So that's just going to, Libra's sort of going to come in and pick up all the pieces that Scorpio exploded all over the fucking place. Libra's going to pick up all those pieces and put everything back to where it needs to be. Okay, so it's like Libra's like the cleanup crew, because Libra's got to have that shit in balance, or it can't function. So everything will be balanced back out then. But then we're not totally out of the clear. Once we get to the beginning of December, no, once we get to the 15th, the last 2 weeks of November is going to be the shadow period. So we're still going to be like slowly coming out of it. Now, this is a transit opposing Uranus. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm trying. I hope I have my terminology correct. But because this is opposing Uranus, okay, there's going to be a lot of love at first sight that could happen between like now and the beginning of December. And the only reason that the love at first sight is going to be able to even happen is because you're going to be so completely honest with yourself and looking into your heart in a legitimate way. All of your illusions are going to be gone. You're going to know who you are, what you really want. That's the idea of this energy anyway. I can't say this is going to happen because it depends on whether you want to work with this energy and let it do these things for you. You can hide and just everything can stay exactly the same and you can stay miserable. That's your choice. I mean, whatever. But if you want to work with this energy and be open to it and really take this time to look into yourself and be honest with yourself about who you are and what you really want, your strengths and your weaknesses, especially when it comes to relationships. And the purpose of this transit, it says, is to teach you that you can have love and freedom at the same time. So codependency came up like crazy in all my readings for the last couple months. So the codependency issues and those types of fear-based issues that a lot of people have when it comes to relationships are the things that are getting tackled really hard with this energy. So by the beginning of December, if you're really leaning into the gritty savageness of this shit, by the beginning of December, you should be at a place where you can have a healthy relationship with someone, even if you've dealt with really intense codependency issues in the past. Because codependency only happens when you are out of touch with yourself and who you are and your true power and what you can get done in your life on your own. You know, how you feel, how your inner child feels, how you feel on an emotional level. If you're addicted to the idea of having people in your world, or if you're okay by yourself, if you can just flow with things and let it just come in when it's supposed to, or if, you know, you go and you take like a poodle and you take like a Doberman pinscher and like put the mask of that dog over the poodle, and you're like, I'm gonna pretend that this is a Doberman pinscher, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you're not doing that kind of shit anymore. That's what codependency is. Codependency is like, no, this is red. Really, look, it's red. It's red, you know? It's like you try to trick yourself into thinking that something that you have, like a relationship that you have with a person, is a relationship that you actually want. You try to trick yourself, and oh dude, I love squirrels so much. You try to trick yourself into believing it's something that it isn't, because you are so completely terrified of living your life alone. That's really all it boils down to. And that comes from abandonment issues, being treated like shit as a child, things that you didn't really necessarily have a lot of control over, okay? So anybody who's codependent, I would find it hard to believe that they created the issue on their own. But everybody who's a codependent has the ability to heal out of that energy easily on your own, if you just know what to do and how to tackle it, and how to go about rewiring your internal structure. That's really all that it's about. So okay, so that's what I have about Venus retrograde. It's very important. This is also closing out an 8-year cycle, and it started October of 2010. So if you can go back in your mind to what fuckery ensued, because it most likely was fuckery in October of 2010, then you'll have an idea, if you haven't already figured it out, which I'm sure most of you have. But if you haven't already figured it out, whatever began around that time and you're still dealing with it, or you have still been dealing with it, is the theme of this Venus retrograde, and it's closing. And so everything should be getting a lot better within the next couple months. Venus only retrogrades in a certain set of astrological signs, so it makes a flower design. Like, I don't know if you can see that. It's very poorly drawn, but because it was only a little bit, but it loops like this, and it makes this sacred geometry lotus design in the sky, because it only retrogrades in certain astrological placements. So that's what I have for you guys. My videos may be there may be a little bit of time in between my videos for a little while. I'm really not sure. So and I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to start doing readings again with my decks, because I don't have them with me right now. So, but I don't know. We'll see. Whatever happens, happens. And that's the point, is it's really important to just flow with these things as they go, because things could change. Like I don't have my cards right now, but I'm still doing this video because there is still some type of wisdom I can impart upon you, given what's going on right now. So it's all about just, being open to the changes as they happen, and curious about and being curious about what they're showing you. Yeah, some things may be closing or ending, but that could just be to make room for something new that may be way better. So keep that in mind, and I love you guys, and I appreciate your likes, your shares, your subscribes, your comments. Please leave me a comment at the end of this, at the bottom of this video, and let me know how you guys are doing with this energy, okay? I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.